Hey, 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 welcome back to another episode of GamerCave. We're playing I Love You, Colonel Sanders again. We're finishing the game. So let's go. Stepping inside Sanders' home, surrounded by his things, you start to feel a special bond with him. It looks like you live such an exciting life, Colonel Sanders. Every day can be an adventure if you approach it with the right attitude. Long ago, I made the decision to never stop searching, never stop working, never stop imagining. Have you been working on a new recipe of your own lately? I'm always excited to talk about food with another ambitious chef. Well, there is something. It's just a side dish that I've been tinkering with, trying to find the right balance of flavors and textures. I'm not sure I nailed it yet, but I'm close. Colonel Sanders' eyes perk up as he starts to wonder what dish you might be describing. It's meant to pair with something spicy or something crispy, perhaps both. Fuck. Meeny, miny, mo, catch a tiger by the toe. If he squeals, you let him go. Eeny, meeny, miny, mo. You can practically hear Colonel Sanders' heart beating in his chest. He tries to act demure, but his facade begins to crack. I can appreciate a good secret, of course. In fact, I've got many, nearly a dozen my fried chicken recipe alone. But I would hope that you could learn to trust me with yours. Well, I suppose you did share a secret ingredient with me yesterday, so it'd be only fair. Colonel Sanders' face grows serious. Yes, about that. You see... Yes, Colonel? I haven't been completely honest with you. The secret I told you was fake. Oh no! The ingredient you shared with Miriam wasn't true? You're angry with Colonel Sanders for lying, but the fact that you revealed his secret shows that he was probably right to do so. You mean it wasn't one of the real 11 secret herbs and spices? You see, we had only just met, and I had to make sure that you were trustworthy and capable of keeping my most important secret. To me, my recipes are priceless. Well, I have something to confess. That secret ingredient you told me, I shared it with my Miriam, my bestie. Unfortunately, I already knew this. I was very disappointed, but now that you've come clean, we can start building our relationship as fellow chefs again. I promise to be honest from here on out. I really do. I'm counting on you. Then in that case, I present to you my original coleslaw. The shredded cabbage glistens in the light of Colonel Sanders' luxe hideaway. Magnificent. Together you chow down on the creamy sludge until just a spoonful remains in the bowl. Do you mind if I hold on to the last bite? I'd like to have it around so that I can admire its taste later and think back on this moment. You could offer to make him more, but he seems like a very sentimental kind of guy. Sure, why not? Please make yourself comfortable. I'll be back in just a moment. You realize that now would be the perfect time to do some snooping. Around the room are various items that you can look closer at. Each item seems to radiate memories and emotions. Tap on an item to discover more about the Colonel. This must be where he keeps his secret recipe. You think for a moment, what number is important to Colonel Sanders? Then it dawns on you. As soon as you turn the dial to 111111, the safe opens. Inside it, you find a single note. Can chicken be prepared sashimi style? An adorable little baby boy crawls across the floor. From the goatee and mustache combo he sports, you figure that this must be Colonel Sanders himself. That, or maybe it's the drumstick that he seems to be waving like a rattle. Who frames a baby picture of just themselves? Probably the same type of person who would make their own face the logo of the company they founded, am I right? The photo appears to be Colonel Sanders, except he's an old man visiting the pyramids of Egypt. Maybe this is where he discovered one of his secret herbs and spices. Tap on it and discover more about Colonel. One of the framed photos shows an old man who looks a bit like Colonel Sanders standing with a friend. They hold fried chicken drumsticks and appear to be cheersing themselves. Cheersing each other, I don't know. You look closely and see that there's a short inscription. I wonder who my friend Pete is. You take a closer look at the large urn sitting on the nearby pedestal. There's a plaque on it. It's dusty, but when you wipe it off, you can read the inscription. It says, "Here lie the ashes of all my past careers and business failures." Poor guy. A scented candle. You pick it up and try to identify the smell. Power tool? Freshly starched collar? Piece of wood floating in a lake? Summer of '69? No, it's one of the secret recipe ingredients. It's... Tap on an item to discover more about Colonel. A lock of silver hair is woven through the teeth of the comb. Upon further inspection, you realize that the hair therein isn't just silvery in color, it's actually spun silver. Yeah. You notice a very realistic stuffed chicken sitting on the corner of the table. When you pick it up, you realize it isn't just realistic, it's real. Taxidermy? Must have been important to Colonel Sanders when it was alive. A little note to clip to the chicken's foot reads, "The true state bird of the great state of Kentucky." You gaze out the window across the vast lake and mountains. Just then the ghost of student pops up. "Are you thinking of heading out into the world in a quest to avenge my death?" "Wait, what? I never even learned your name. Why would I avenge you?" "I could just tell you my name right now. It's... Can't you see I'm in the middle of something?" You open the window a crack and the ghost of student is swept out with the breeze. Fucking loser. You open the door to Colonel Sanders' closet and find a row of his signature white suits hanging within. You take one off its hanger and try it on. The jacket is a bit big for you, but it's soft and comfortable. You give yourself a deep hug and breathing in his scent. They say that home is where the heart is. Is this what they meant? Before you can look any further, you hear Colonel Sanders returning. He has a new dish that he has been working on. He wants you to taste it. You try to act casual until he asks you why you are wearing his jacket. "I don't usually loan those out, but I must say it does look good on you." Ah, crap. You forget to take it off. You confess, "I think I've developed feelings for you." "I might be developing feelings for you too, but I'm concerned. I can't let anything get in the way of my dreams." Overwhelmed, you take off the jacket and run for the door, but the thought of leaving Colonel in the midst of such an emotional breakthrough gives you pause. You stop yourself. "Colonel?" "Yes, Shattered Exile?" "I honestly think this may be the beginning of something wonderful." "I think you're right. We should take things slow." You talk late into the night and drift off into a slumber. Dream sequence. It goes too fast. I feel like I'm seeing motion blurs. Okay. You wake to beautiful morning in Colonel Sanders' hideaway. Did you make the right decision on how to respond to Colonel Sanders? Only time will truly tell. Today is a day that could change the rest of your life. You think about that secret ingredient you just learned about. In some jurisdictions, it isn't even legal. But if the recipe is a secret, how will they know? Your thoughts are interrupted when Colonel Sanders emerges into the room. He's holding a gorgeously plated breakfast, and your mouth waters at the sight of it. "Here's a simple breakfast I just whipped up. It's meticulous." Oh. You taste Colonel Sanders' food and it takes you on a journey. When you return, he's waiting to ask you an important question. "So, would you say that we're the perfect match?" "How presumptuous." "My cuisine, your taste buds, that is." "You know, I think we might make a great team. A single tear begins to pool in the corner of his eyes as he gazes out the window. And with the right business partner, I know I can't fail. Business partner? Could he be talking about you? It's all happening so quickly. Overcome with emotion and confused by your feelings, you're on the verge of tears. Unable to speak, the only right answer you can find is to run out the door and get home. There's still one more day of school, after all. The University of Cooking School Academy for Learning waits for no one. You get home to find something very surprising. Your best friend, is there waiting for you.
Where have you been?
Because
I had one heck of a night. I was desperate to talk to you about it, but I couldn't find you. I got worried that something had happened to you.
It's okay, I was just...
But now that it turns out you're fine, I can finally get you up to speed on the saga of Miriam.
Sure, but...
You will not believe what happened to me after school yesterday. I went on a date.
I think I can believe that.
Since I'd been partnered up with Clank, he asked me to go out with him. Of course, I told him you'd better keep your dials turned to polite and respectful. I'm not that kind of girl. But he was just interested in spending some one-on-one time together and getting to know me, so I said, yeah, sure. I can get to know this little guy. Long story short, he took me skydiving with his friends, but things quickly spiraled out of control.
Did she say skydiving as if it's a typical first date to go on with a talking pressure cooker?
And now, I'm not really sure where we stand.
You don't give Miriam time to tell her whole story, however. Balling up the details of your own night is just too much to bear. And I went on a date too, back to Colonel Sanders' house where I spent the night with him.
You what? You bitch!
Nothing happened but the emotional connection. Wowzers. Together with your bestie, you feel like you can do anything. When you arrive at school, you encounter your rivals in the quad. You can tell from a distance that they're picking on Pop, though he himself might not quite grasp that fact. Because you know he's Pop.
What's a swirly? It sounds... What's a swirly? What's a swirly? It sounds delicious.
Oh, it's great. I'll order you up one right away.
I'll have my swirly with sprinkles, please. Heh, sprinkles is a dog and a treat.
You can get your swirly dipped too. Why don't you pick on someone your own size? Because I'm literally the biggest person at this school.
There is that one horse Colonel Sanders rides to school, but who would dare pick on such a gentle and beautiful creature?
You've got some nerve, Shattered Exile, suggesting I pick on a defenseless horse. That's not it. Okay. Now you're twisting my words and I won't have it. You clench your fist, but the injury from yesterday's mixer accident makes you wince in pain. Don't look too good for you, man. Might as well just give up. I'll never give up. Ever. Colonel Sanders arrives just as it appears things are getting close to boiling over. A naturally intuitive person, he senses that something has been going on. Is everyone excited for the final day of school? Shattered Exile, how's that hand feeling? I'm sure you'll be back and fighting for him by this afternoon.
Aren't you concerned about my hands, Colonel? Yesterday I almost broke a nail winning so hard.
Technically, I don't believe a winner was decided, but your presentation was quite impressive. What is he doing complimenting her?
But what about the flavor of my delicate, warm, gooey chocolate sauce?
Jesus Christ. It was clear that you're passionate about how your food is received. That's a lot of words to say. It was bland. Excuse me, Shattered. I am more than capable enough to speak for myself.
Maybe you could tell me more of your thoughts as we walk to class, Colonel.
I'm always interested in discussing the fine art of fine foods. See you inside, Shattered Exile. Annoyed by Colonel Sanders' inability to see that Ashley, for who you know she really is, you walk across the quad to get some distance. In an attempt to distract yourself from how slighted you feel by the interaction with Ashley, you take out the spell book you recovered yesterday and start flipping through the pages.
Whoa, that's the book? It looks like bad news.
It's just something I found lying around. It would appear to be some sort of grimoire, but I don't really believe in that magic stuff.
A grimoire? Like a book of spells? I don't know. Who would spend so much time decorating a magic book if it weren't really powerful?
I can think of one surefire way to find out. You open a page that is covered with arcane warnings, cast only in case of extreme emergency. It says around the edges of the page, I could use this spell that says it will erase anyone I choose from all my memories. If I scrub out Colonel Sanders, it will probably help me focus better on the upcoming final exam.
That is way too drastic. Couldn't you do something else? Like anything else? Not rooted in dark magic? Maybe tie a string around your finger?
Okay, fine. It is drastic, but desperate times call for desperate measures. You've got a memory erasing spell sitting right in front of you, and a pretty good excuse to try it out. Don't do it. You take your friend's advice and put the book away. It's almost time for class. Sprinkles is already in the room waiting for the students to arrive. He clears his voice to make a quick announcement. I want you all to know I feel something of a dog moment going on, but I assure you it's nothing to be afraid of. Sprinkles stops in his tracks. He focuses on a window. The room is deadly silent. When you follow his gaze, you see a tiny orange squirrel perched on the cherry tree outside. Sprinkles turns feral and runs to the window of the classroom. He begins barking uncontrollably at the squirrel outside. Terrence, I told you to never come back here, Terrence. I will destroy you, Terrence. Sprinkles is barking ferociously, drool flying off of his face. The squirrel looks over, but he doesn't say anything back. You wonder, is that even a talking squirrel who named him Terrence? You'd better not show your chubby cheeks around here ever again. After Sprinkles is satisfied that his presence has been felt by not only Terrence but any other squirrel in hearing distance, he returns to his professional tone. I apologize for the outburst. This actually brings up an important point. Thank you, Shattered XR, for reminding me to dole out this indispensable bit of wisdom. You see, but before he can go any further, Miriam's love drama spills over into the class.
I told you to save it for after class. You think I wanted to be thrown from a plane strapped to a stranger?
Miriam and Clank appear to be arguing, but you still haven't learned to speak Clank's language of mechanical noise.
But now you had to show off your cool kid friends Jeff and Joan, J&J forever. Watch us form a triangle in mid-air as we descend. Triangles are the strongest shape, don't you know? Yeah, well, that doesn't make it a great date. Then take Jeff and Joan with you. You can hold hands all as you pedal down the mountain or off a cliff for all I care.
Sad beep. Clank begins to shudder. Steam pours out of the gaps in his panels, and then a loud ding stops him in his tracks. Beep.
No amount of seasoning is going to make me want to eat that, Clank.
Clank burps out a completely deep-fried sneaker. Considering that he himself has wheels, not feet, it is not entirely clear where it came from. In terms of deep friend footwear, I guess it looks okay. Is that a spelling mistake in my Colonel Sanders game? Oh my god. I want this game removed off Steam. Clink slowly rolls out of the room to be alone with his shoe. Everyone tries to pretend like they didn't see the entire thing go down. Nothing like a loud public breakup to cast a pall over the final day of school. Well, that was unfortunate, but we mustn't be distracted from what lies ahead. The final cooking competition's challenge exam. I'm still working on the title, but I think you get it. Test time approaches. See you all in the arena. But before you can think about your upcoming competition, there's a very beautiful soul nearby in need of a pep talk. Hey Miriam, are you okay?
Okay, I'm so mad I could smash a tiny mug, spilling several droplets of hot cocoa all over the floor. How could he embarrass me in class like that, in front of everybody?
Her tiny cocoa is a delicious treasure, so you know that this breakup is no joke, even if the source of her frustration is such a silly boy. I know that you know this, but I'm gonna say it out loud. You don't need it anymore. You don't need him anymore. What the fuck? Me and you, we're gonna cruise through this final test and hit the carpool lane to Success City. Miriam brightens up, imagining the wind rushing through her hair, short bangs, but she hesitates to embrace the feeling all the way.
You're not going to saddle up on Colonel Sanders' stallion and ride off into the sunset without me.
Of course not. Well, maybe sorta, but I'm sure there's a pony out there with your name on it, and a ranch big enough for both of us and whoever else we want to bring along. If it's not Pop or Clank, or anyone else you met today, tomorrow, or this whole year, so what? You're a special person who shouldn't settle for the first someone to show a little interest anyhow. Miriam gives you a big hug and wipes the tears from her cheeks.
I should really review for my menu today. I'm going to make a very special soup.
I bet that Professor Dog is gonna love it up. While you were pep talking Miriam, you completely missed lunch, but that's okay because you had a better idea how to spend the time for your exam. You decided to head to the arena early to practice a dish. This is it, the location of your final challenge, a test of will, a test of courage, a test of talent, and a chance to beat the pants off of Van, the supposed man, and his eviler counterpart, Ashley. As planned, you begin to run through a quick test of the recipe you've been working on, Shattered XL's famous chicken pot pie. After practicing for months, making the dish comes second nature to you, and you're able to quickly get a fresh pot pie in the oven. But as soon as you do, your cram session is interrupted by Colonel Sanders. Shattered XL, what are you doing here? There's still time before the final exam. Oh, just taking it all in. I'm big into visualizing success. I'm looking at my station and picturing victory. The pot pie has begun to bake and the smell is slowly filling the space around you. Visualizing, huh? That's too bad. I was hoping you were here cooking something delicious. You'd usually be happy to share your food with anyone who is hungry, but the last time you let Colonel Sanders get in your head, it cost you a cook-off. You decide that it's time to put your cooking above your romantic desires, but that decision gets hard to stick to when... Okay, you got me. I'm doing a little bit more than visualizing. I know, my nose can smell pot pie from 400 yards. That's an oddly specific distance, but you'd expect nothing less from such an oddly specific man. You knew it was a pot pie just from the smell? Not just a pot pie, but a chicken pot pie with an all-butter crust. And my nose is telling me something else. Oh no, is it burning? Haha, no. I can smell that it was made with a heaping helping of TLC. But it'll probably start burning any second if you don't pull it out. The moment of truth. Wow. It's the best pot pie I've ever tasted. I've always loved country cooking and I could eat this all day. There's no time left. The final showdown is about to begin. Sprinkles lays down the ground rules. There are no rules, that is, except to cook with everything you got. You step up for the cook-off of a lifetime. You decide that mac and cheese plus the pot pie you've been practicing are just the dishes that you'll be pushed over the edge to victory. Meanwhile, both Van and Ashley are preparing wildly elaborate dishes per their usual over-the-top selves. Miriam has her giant magnifying glass and several sets of tweezers. She's definitely prepared to go big, going small. Colonel Sanders seems to be harnessing his 11 herbs and spices, but he's trying to find a way to improve on something perfect, his original recipe fried chicken. The intensity in the room starts at a full 10 out of 10 with a frenzy of action. But everyone is calling out really cool special cooking moves as they prepare their food. Wow, this is getting serious. Colonel Sanders batters his chicken as it levitates through the air. Egg wash. Miriam furiously injects ingredients into an itty-bitty pot of broth.
Best friend blaster, Matt Blaster.
Van flexes his pectorals as he chops open a sea urchin. Let's rock and roid. Ashley scoops her pastries out the tray with lightning speed.
Shallow personality spatula.
Even Clank gets on a 5-dial pressure point cooking chicken cooking technique. Wait, When did Clink learn to speak English?
It's the singularity. It was foretold.
We mustn't let it happen, or the applied surprising will take us all. Self-destruct. Van quickly unplugs Clank and rolls him out the back door of the arena. As you frantically prepare your dish, you notice Ashley has her spellbook out. Is she going to use some dark magic to turn the tide? You got a book of your own, and you're desperate not to see her win with another battle. Should you take this opportunity to fight magic with magic, even if it's almost certainly evil magic? Who needs magic when you've got passion? I'm going to do it the hard way. Colonel Sanders sees that you've chosen to win on your own terms, and he gives you a subtle wink from across the room. I believe in you, Shattered Exile. Miriam notices too.
And I've always believed in you, Shattered Exile, since we were little kids, because I'm your best friend forever.
You turn to notice that Miriam is at your station cheering for you. Miriam, what about your dish? If you're here cheering, who's cooking? That pose right there is actually a reference to Kill la Kill. That's a pose that, oh, I can't remember, not the main character, the schoolgirl that she's living with. That's one of the poses she does.
Tiny food, short cook time. I'm actually already done, so I thought I'd help you.
Oh, that's sweet, but Miriam tosses a handful of spices directly into your boiling noodles.
It's the secret ingredient.
However, she doesn't know that Colonel Sanders made the first ingredient up to throw you off the trail of his secret recipe. The boiling pot explodes, sending Miriam flying backwards. The watery noodles begin to swirl in the air, bubbling up into a dark cloud that thickens and congeals before your very eyes. It is I, Steve the Spoke Monster. Steve? Wait, what about the Borko? You're not here to battle me, are you? We Spork Monsters are many. I think Borko had the day off, but you have conjured Steve, and I hate battle. So I'd say you're doing alright. Oh, hey, you're in middle of cooking competition. I love this stuff. It's better than TV. Your crazy kids and your culinary skills really impress me. Mind if I hang out? I'm sorry, Steve, but I'm kind of in the middle of something. Do you mind? Steve the Sporkmaster notices that you've got the grimoire stashed beneath your cooking station. I see what you're up to. You crisscross some magical items and accidentally summoned me, huh? Ha, yeah, you guessed it, sorta. If you're here, would you mind tossing some fresh noodles in a pot of salted water? I love to. I've always been wanted to be so stiff, actually. You know, when I was a little spork back in the old country. You can feel Spork Monster winding up to tell a very long and involved story. You don't know exactly where they came from, but it seems like it was probably lonely there. Actually, you know what? Maybe you should watch from the stands. I really need to focus on the competition. I understand. It's kind of like that time in Monster School that I had fallen asleep during Scared Tactics class when I woke up. You toss a serious stare at Steve and he takes the hint. Never mind, I'll tell you later. Good luck. I can do this. I have what it takes. I came here to win. Your hair turns mac and cheese orange as culinary energy flows through your body. My heart is pure, my hands are steady, my taste buds have been preparing their entire lives for. Yes, Shattered Exile, you are the chosen one. You will avenge me. The power you've been summoning immediately fades back out. You interrupted my inspiring monologue. Sorry. My heart is pure, my hands are steady, my taste buds have been preparing their entire lives for this moment. I will show the world my cookery. You're gonna levitate off the ground. Energy courses through your body. You know that with this power you can do anything except turn back time, which would be super useful because while you were powering up your chicken pot pie overcooked in the oven can't be served. But don't worry, dear Shattered Exile, you may have suffered some setbacks, but all is not lost. Impressed with your fortitude, Colonel Sanders decides that you've earned his support. I've been watching you today, and I must say I'm truly impressed. You've been thinking on your feet and rolling with the punches. He steps up to your station and stands right beside you. I'm here to help. All you managed to do is make mac and cheese in time zone was up, so you're going to need it. But Colonel Sanders, what about the test? What will happen to you? What about the rules? Following the rules has never really been my thing. I follow my heart. What a guy. Colonel Sanders unfolds a delicate white towel and reveal the most delicious fried chicken tenders you've ever laid your eyes on. And besides, sometimes unexpected combinations can have surprising effects that surpass their individual efforts. Are you suggesting if we combine forces we can make the perfect food union? Time's up, students! With time expired, it's the moment everyone has been waiting for. You must now prepare to present your dishes. It's not his name. A handful of students stand tall, but the class seems incomplete. It seems we're missing some students. Pop, clink. From off screen, you hear a pure and innocent giggle that can only come from the one student.
Hey, I'm flying.
Sounds like it's coming from the broom closet over there. Boom, boom, boom. Miriam, would you mind? Inside of the closet, you see his Pop hanging on a broom hook by the elastic of his underpants. Pop, get down from the there right now. Let me guess. Did Van have something to do with this? When someone asks for a veggie, what am I supposed to do? I don't know.
I thought a veggie was a salad.
Looks like Pop is eliminated from the challenge, seeing how he didn't cook anything.
I can't feel my legs. May I be excused?
Sure. You kids and your pranks, I must say it's not the worst prank in UCSAL history, but it's not exactly yearbook material. Wait a second, pranks, clink! Where did that pressure cooker roll off to? You wait to hear a signature word beep and other onomatopoeia. Onomatopoeia, but there's none. Somehow he must have gotten unplugged, I guess. We'll have to figure that one out later. That leaves only 4 remaining students. Please collect your final projects. Yes, it has been a long semester. Well, 3 whole days long. But after days of hard work, the time has come for me to eat. Miriam, please step forward. Now describe your dish.
I've made tender udon noodles and savory soup.
My word, it's so delicate. Is that a tiny Narutomaki I spy afloat in this itsy bitsy brew?
Yes, Chef.
Please call me Sprinkles. Chef is my father's name.
Yes, Sprinkles, and some green tea made from baby tea leaves that I picked up myself.
Sprinkles carefully snips around the dish before opening his mouth and letting just the tip of his pink dog tongue dip into the bowl. Sublime! Would anyone else like to taste like a taste? Oh, come on, I'm not one of those dogs who doesn't floss. I even have a really cute electric toothbrush for dogs. Fine, I'll enjoy it all by myself. In a flash, the entire meal has been devoured. Not that it took much, it was less than a thimble's worth of soup. A plus, rarely do I taste a dish with as much love poured into it as yours. Miriam is overjoyed and she gives you a hug, huge hug.
Thank you, ShatterXO, for helping me to believe in myself.
Van, you're up. Now describe your dish. I made uni over smooth egg custard and in an axion urchin shell topped with caviar. Did you skewer one type of urchin with spice from a second different colored type of urchin? Yes, Sprinkles. It's a bit much, don't you think? That's exactly why I did it. A bit much is my brand, doesn't it look cool? Sprinkles leans in to sniff the uni, but he can't get his nose close on account of all the spikes. He begins to paw at it erratically, causing the custard to slosh around. Woof woof! Please be gentle with my cuisine. Grrr! Finally, Sprinkles goes all in, tongue first, but he can't get past all the needles. He reels back as his tongue is poked and prodded.
Youch, my tongue!
The professor seems to be having an allergic reaction to the sting. I can't eat this. It keeps poking with tongue. Disqualified. A stunning turn of events. Who would have thought that serving food in a bowl made of needles could make it difficult to eat? Dejected, Van does not go gentle into the night. Disqualified for grammar? Don't discount the simplicity. This isn't the last you suffered me. Before forcing up to endure his swollen tongue for another moment, Sprinkles graciously laps up a bowl of milk. Yeah, I know, yes, I am a dog, I drink milk, get over it. Sometimes it helps calm my agitated tongue. Next student, it's time for Ashley to step up.
Now,
Now describe your dish.
I made orange blossom tickets delight and other Toro's water syrup, topped with French meringue and connected by sugar glass. That actually doesn't sound too bad. Indeed, it's quite delightful. However, I'd ask you to please refrain from eating it or attempting to taste it in any way. It's very fragile, meant to be a display piece. Don't eat the food at a cooking school. Got toast in your ears or something, Shadow Exile? I told you, it's a display piece. Ashley, I must say it is beautiful. However, this is a cooking competition at a cooking school. Yeah. Yes, which is why I cook it. I did an extremely good job at cooking it too. I didn't realize that we were having an eating exam. If I wanted to be judged on eating, I'd go to the College of Eating School for the Hungry. I suppose you could smell it, if you absolutely insisted, but don't breathe too hard, you might disrupt the sugar spiral. If the food cannot be eaten, I cannot be judged. You are disqualified. Rage overtakes Ashley, and she finally couldn't keep her two-faced routine up. You wouldn't know high-end cuisine if it cooks you! And with that, Ashley storms off to rededicate herself to being the best, but this time without being shackled by trying to be fake nice and like everyone else. This isn't the last thing you've heard of me either. If this class gets much smaller, I believe teach it myself. You and Colonel Sanders, the final cook, step up together. 2 chefs. What began as a bowl of delicious mac and cheese has become something else. He examines it closely, sniffing and eyeing the bowl. Uh-oh, I don't have a good feeling about this. From somewhere in the room, a literal drum roll plays. Just when I thought I seen everything in this kitchen, you give me this thing, and completely blow me away. In my 49 years of life, I've never tasted anything so delicious and perfectly balanced. It's so delicious, in fact, that everyone passes the class. You pass, and you get the pass. Everyone gathers around and partakes of the mac and cheese bowl. They all seem to transcend this reality into another dimension. You win. Together, you and Colonel Sanderson made a new menu item. The new menu item is so impressive that even Van and Ashley are drawn back in by its magnetic fragrance. When they gaze upon your mac and cheese bowl, they admit that you are indeed an excellent chef. Sprinkles declares that you have passed. Everyone has passed. There are supposed to be more battles, but come on, how could they be better than this one? Now that the school year is complete and everyone has graduated, the students return for one last assignment to get their groove on. The cafeteria has been completely redecorated in order to serve as the site of a school's graduation dance. Compared to the massive high-tech cooking arena, the humble decor seems downright cute and cozy. DJ Dog in the house. Ow, ow, ow. Okay, yeah. You knew that Sprinkles was a master chef, but also a world-renowned turntablist? Who says you can't teach an old dog new tricks? Van and Ashley tell everyone that they've committed themselves to righting the wrongs they did while they were villains, but for a moment, you actually believe them. Not another haunting. No ghosts sought out at the graduation. It's clearly written in the school's bylaws. I was never actually a ghost. It was all a trick to get you to finally notice me. Oh, amusing. You know that everyone is together. It's the Spork Monster, and he is totally mellowed out. Everyone, the Spork Monster is no more. From here on out, I would prefer that everyone refer to me as the Party Monster. Okay. Student tries to finish what he has to say, but everyone's too wrapped up talking to Spork. Sorry, Party Monster. Dejected student walks off. Maybe things didn't work out for Miriam romantically, but she found the love in her cooking, and you know she's gonna do great. A red carpet rolls across the floor. It's like a Hollywood movie premiere. Who would command such an entrance? It's Bob. He's arriving late to the dance, but apparently for a good reason. Walking the carpet, you see perched atop his dirty chef's hat. A crown? Welcome back, Bob. I know you weren't able to complete the final exam and accept your diploma, so we had to mail directly to your father. We figured it was the least we could do for the school's dean. Oh, now I get it. And we get a new wing on the school, not to mention the honor of educating the son of Chancellor and such and such. Blah, blah, blah. Get fuck out now. Fuck off. The music at the dance is interrupted by the sound of sparking and electrical hissing. It's Clank, who has arrived late to the dance. Now that I have graduated,
Now that I have graduated, I can reveal my truth. Whoa, he's still doing the talking thing. I am Clank, and I am not of this earth. I am actually from a faraway planet in another dimension.
What? What?
I actually feel like I knew it this whole time.
Now that I have learned the ways of your kind, I must return. Miriam, will you come with me?
I don't know what to say. Besides, no, obviously. I have just begun to learn who I really am, and this is the time for me to devote my life to figuring out who you are, Clank.
You're blown away with by Miriam's maturity. It's pretty clear she has managed to surpass you in that regard. I understand, kind of. Humans are weird. A portal opens up and Clank disappears through it. Finally, Colonel Sanders arrives. Howdy, classmates. Just like the day you first met him, he has come prepared to feed the entire class. However, it's not enough to just give them a bucket of chicken. This time it's a full meal. I didn't get to be the most famous chicken man in the history of chicken and man, but I'm reminding people to go out and buy my chicken. The end? No, it's not the end. That's where everyone feasts on their delicious chicken dinner, and Colonel Sanders finds you sitting at the edge of the dance floor. Shared Exile, what are you doing sitting all alone? Oh, you know, just waiting for the right person to ask me to dance. I wonder, might you tell me what are the qualities that you would expect to find in such a lucky person? Off the top of my head, I don't know. A spicy musk, a tidy goatee, and a degree from the University School Academy for Learning, just to name a few. It truly is my lucky day. Would you dance with me? Yes, I would love to. As you glide across the floor hand in hand with Colonel Sanders, the future stretches out in front of you. And once my 100th franchise is up and running, I'll be ready to take a day off. And I'll be so glad to spend it together with you, Shattered Exile. How sweet, we'll work together and play together. Colonel Sanders stops dead in his tracks. Work together? Well, I think this is something I'll just need to do by myself. But who will help you run your restaurants? I don't believe I need help. Besides, based on your time at school here, do you really think running a restaurant is the best path forward? Could it be you found a love connection but failed to earn Colonel Sanders' respect as a chef? Can you only live with half of him? Will you be able to endure sharing him with his other love, the life of an entrepreneur? I suppose I could enroll at pastry school. Oh, my dear Shattered Exile, I'm sure that you'll find your pace eventually. And along the way, you'll have me by your side. The end? I'm gonna need to lie down. If you like this, if you liked this episode of, if you like this episode of Isla, GamerCave, please like and subscribe. Until next time, I'll see you later. Bye bye.